I am back, everyone. So, yes, it's been a good couple of weeks, hasn't it? But figured I'd take a break, recharge, and come back with the new releases that are around the corner. And one of them has finally came around. Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown. Oh, this one has been a long, long time coming. Now, I love a fighter game, jet fighter games, or airplane simulator games of this type in general, helicopters included, and they've always been the kind of game that's been had a sweet spot for me, and the Ace Combat games are among those. I relatively got into the series about 5 or so years ago. Not super long ago like I would like, but a good amount of time where I Ace Combat 6 on the 360 was the first I played. Why they never re-released it on the PS3 when this series started on the PlayStation 1 way back when escapes me. And I've played the PS2 trilogy. I've played part of the second game on the first on the that was for the PS1 on my PlayStation 2. Assault Horizon, which was a spit-off, I enjoyed, but had one too many things that I felt offset it compared to the few things that I did love about it, like the dogfight mode, which I wouldn't mind seeing come back. And then, for whatever reason, Bandai released a free-to-play game on PS3 called Ace Combat Infinite, or whatever the fuck. And that game had little to no reason to exist, and really just took a spot that would have been for a righteous sequel, namely this one. And, I've played a few other... And besides the Ace games, I've played a couple of others, like the Lethal Skies 1 and 2 on the PS2, which I loved, which had and it had like and the what I've loved about those games as well as the Ace series is that it's jet fighters and all that, but crazier. It's in like a quasi realistic yet sci-fi world. It's super weapons, airships, and a bunch of other awesome sci-fi stuff. So it's almost like Star Wars with jet fighters, and I loved that. And if you played the Lethal Skies games, you had like a post-apocalyptic wasteland with freaking spider tanks and a bunch of other stuff. It was Armored Core of jet fighters, and I loved it. So yeah, I have a real long history with this style of games, and I've been waiting for another Ace Combat game for so long it's not even funny. And I hope that with this one finally out, more games will come soon, and hopefully Bandai Namco learned some lessons from the last couple of games. I liked Ace Combat 6, which was the last proper named numerical sequel, but I felt it was too short and had a very disgustingly high amount of DLCs of skins for the airplanes. When that was part of the fun of the games even before that point, just replaying, getting playing with different airplanes, and also unlocking all the different skins you can wear for them, like the paint patterns and whatnot. So hopefully they learned from that, and also from Assault Horizon. Like, if I've not seen much gameplay, I've tried to keep myself as spoiler free as possible. So I hope that they upgraded the visuals a bit more, the storytelling a bit more. I hope that the dogfight mode is somewhat in this game to a small degree. If it's not, that's fine. It had like some people liked it, others didn't. I personally did, although there were times where I felt they could have toned it down a bit in terms of how frequently it was used. I just hope that there is no one uh, AC-130 airplane gunship, because they tried to put that in one level of Assault Horizon and it was freaking terrible. Whereas it's like they tried to put stuff that we would see in Call of Duty in there, and I was just like, no, no, no COD in this, please. So hopefully we won't have that stupidity again in the new main numerical game. Although I did like the helicopter segments in Assault Horizon, I admit. Well, the ones where you actually control the damn things, anyway. So, yeah, I'm excited for this. And Resident Evil 2 Remake is around the corner, so if I don't beat this by the time it comes out, I'll interchange between the games. And honestly, I hope the game's pretty lengthy. I personally think that the games that 6 was too short, and the other ones were decently length. So I'm hoping for something at least on the level of Ace Combat 5 or 0. Something to that extent. Something like decently lengthy. Not terribly long, but definitely not short, I hope. So let's start. Enough wasting any time. Let's hit to the let's ride out to the danger zone and see what Project Aces has cooked up for us after many years of being absent from the Ace series. And no, I am not playing this game in VR. I don't have a VR set, and I really have no use for it. Oh, really? Really with this shit? I did. Shows the name of you, pressing the left and right stick. Control type. Huh. Controls, and you determine by pressing the left and sync right one manner for those. This, yeah, this looks like standard seems very watered down. Honestly, expert is the real standard because that's pretty much how every Ace Combat controlled. For turning, you turn the airplane, to its side in order to make the sharp turns. Whereas this seems to be a much more casualized ishness. Honestly, given my history with the series and other similar games, I think I'm gonna go with expert because that seems to be that's from where I'm from. That form of gameplay is the standard way to play. Of course, if I'm wrong, I can always change it. Yeah, English just in case. I'll keep the subtitles on just in case for those who are impaired to some extent. Installing 82%. The game's not even finished going into the PlayStation. Ugh. Installations. Why do we have to install games? I'll never understand this. Like, come on, the freaking 360 didn't even have to do it. Hell, there's some games like Valkyria Chronicles where I don't even have to install into the system. It works just fine. Okay. Well, it'll probably install by the time we're done with this first part of the campaign anyway, or whatever works. Oh, come on, Rose. I don't want to play with you right now. I'm playing this. Oh, you silly cat. You interrupted my Godzilla review, and now you're trying to interrupt my first stream after 2 weeks. Okay. Uh, some aircraft customizations have been changed to their defaults because the game is still being installed. Certain aircraft are also unavailable. Are you kidding me with this shit? Why do we need to install games? This shit stinks. Ugh. Well, it'll probably be done by the time, anyway. Well, anyway, it'll probably be done by the time in the next 15 to 20 minutes anyway, so. Easy, normal, or hard. Cannot be changed partway through. I'm gonna go with normal.
Does the color of the sky mean anything special to you?
Sometimes.
It does to me. A hell of a lot.
Yeah, not a cloud in the
When I
sky.
close my eyes, the sky in my dreams is a deep, dark blue. Pilots have been in my family for 4 generations. Flying's in my DNA. Even so, my grandpa didn't want me joining the Air Force. He lost faith in the Osean air defense the day my dad died in battle.
Osea.
No, Evie. I wish you could see what it's like up there. Cruising above the clouds, the dark blue of the stratosphere. Nothing beats being at the controls and seeing it from the cockpit. Look here.
Gramps tossed a magazine over to me with an article. Unmanned fighters are no longer a dream, it read.
Drones.
Pilots taking to the skies will soon be a distant memory.
I don't see anything good coming from that.
Know what? Lying smack dab in the middle of the desert west of here, there's a bunch of planes from the last war. Some of them have been mothballed, but most of them are just rusted piles of junk waiting to be scrapped. Gramps was really good friends with the super there, so he got to take whatever he wanted, no questions asked. That's how we got the parts to build our own plane. Now, when I say we, I mean me, my grandpa, and his old war buddies. I cut my teeth working with those geezers. They taught me their skills, and some dirty jokes. But with their aging eyeballs and whatnot, I ended up having to do most of the work myself. I was at the airstrip doing some flight training when I saw it. A prototype drone.
It's ugly.
It wasn't much of a plane, more of a trash can with wings.
Laugh at it all you want, kid. But technology's always changing. If you don't keep up with it, it'll leave your ass behind.
It took 6 years and 8 months to get that engine running. And it took us another 1.5 years after that to finally get the balance of the airframe just right. I'd gone from being a little girl to, well, still a girl, just older. But now, I was all alone. Wherever the souls of my Gramps and his pals are flying, I hope it's peaceful.
Yeah, this is not
Then,
set
finally,
in real Earth.
I was ready to break the sound barrier. All
It's
this
set
plane
in-
could do was take off, accelerate, and fly up.
Yeah, we're set in an alternate universe. Broke the sound
flew
barrier.
up, straight up, through the clouds, higher into the sky. Dark blue. I could almost touch it. Then I saw Osea's fighters. They were tailing something. A drone. They were going full out chasing that thing. Doing 30 Gs at least. Damn, I've never seen anything move that fast.
F-15 Eagle.
It had a rose painted on it. The Erusian emblem.
What?
That country's a whole continent away from here.
Crap. You should have put in my events with you, you piece of junk. Should have built a deterrent too.
Uh-oh. Friendly fire? Wait a minute. No, they're not. It's not from here. It's Erusian.
Is everyone here? Settle down. I said settle down. You have all been instrumental in helping to maintain peace in Usea as members of the International Union Peacekeeping Force. Until today. Earlier, our radar site informed us that a group of unidentified aircraft was approaching. Communication systems went down immediately afterwards. We are led to conclude that they have attacked the site. Here's your mission. It's possible that the Usian ceasefire agreement has been broken for the first time in over a decade. As of today, the Fort Grays Air Base Squadron of the IUPF has been put on high alert. All members who have been ordered to sortie, fly there immediately. Find the unidentified craft, then use your weapons to round them up and force them to land. If the hostiles counterattack, then you will...
What the hell was that?
There's smoke! We're under attack.
Numerous unidentified aircraft confirmed overhead.
How is that possible?
The tank farm to the north has been bombed. Many injured.
Scramble. All units, take off and eliminate the unidentified craft attacking the base. This is not a drill.
Okay. Yeah, the Ace games are not set in real Earth. They're set in an alternate universe Earth. And, oh god, we're playing as Osea, which is basically this world's version of America. And, Usea is basically like the continent. And we're facing our old friends, Erusia. They were the main antagonist force in Ace Combat 4. So it's like we're playing as a faction from Ace Combat 5, which is my personal favorite of the bunch. And we're facing an enemy that has decided to go and poke its head out and be troublesome again from the 4th game. So that's something. So Trigger is my code name. Clown. Knocker, Brownie, Golem 3 and 4. Mission prep. What is that? Aircraft tree. Okay, so we gotta go investigate, more or less. Ah, an F4E that I got as a pre-order bonus. Yeah, why is it that the F4E Phantom is always a bonus? Like, it was a pre-order, it was a DLC bonus in Assault Horizon, and it was again for this game. What is so special about the Phantom that makes it pre-order worthy? Classic. I honestly prefer the much more the regular Phantom, because the E has the overly long nose. I don't know. Okay, so we got that. Okay, large carrier fighter designed as an interceptor. The E model is a variant used by the Air Force. Still an older craft, its speed records are still impressive. It has other various nicknames around the world, in addition to Phantom 2. Yeah, the E is just one variant of the Phantom 2. What does preview mean? Oh, just go full frontal to view. So far, I'm liking the visuals. All the aircraft look more photorealistic than ever. Look at that. Look at the glass. It's reflective. I'm already impressed. F-16C, the Falcon. A low-weight fighter developed to, among other things, support large lead air superiority fighters, featuring latest technology of its time, such as fly-by-wire, boasts great dexterity and stability, nicknamed the Fighting Falcon. I love the Falcon. I used to go see the Thunderbirds, who are basically, you know, they were those those performance airplane squads. You know, like the Blue Angels. The Blue Angels is for the Navy. The Thunderbirds are for the Army, and they were F-16s. You know, decked out in American flag pattern. They were glorious. I loved going to go see. I loved seeing their shows. Well, I'm gonna go with what the game provides me at the moment. So F-16. Select special weapon. 4 air-to-air missile. Lock up onto 4 targets. Ideal against numerous enemies. Love these things. 4 AAM. Select. Leave the hangar. What happened? I picked this. Oh, I left the hangar when I should have, okay, that was weird. It was basically go back. I meant to press, this is what I should have done. Okay, F-16.
Mage Squadron, aircraft preparations complete. Stand by at the front.
Mage Squadron. I like the sound of it already. And yeah, as is typical, most of the games don't have your main character actually have a, you know, appear on screen. I kind of just have to headcanon it.
Scramble. Get those birds in the sky. We're sitting ducks. What's happening? Bombers incoming. Don't know how many.
Let's clear that runway. We don't got all day here.
Mage Squadron, head to runway.
Mage 2.
Squadron, take off. Link to Skykeeper. Hurry, Mage Squadron. Trigger, your call sign is Mage 2. Verify and read back. Mage 2, clear for takeoff. The situation is tight. It's a hell of a welcoming party, but we have faith in you. Good luck.
R2
Control.
instead of
Do me a
R1.
favor and get that bird in the air ASAP.
Hear that?
Yeah.
Column Squadron and your wingmen are airborne. Take off and form up with Mage 1.
Ospreys and Chinook helicopters.
Mage 2 scramble. Take off now. Mage 2 altitude restriction is lifted. Good luck.
Oh my god, this game looks gorgeous.
Looks like the harbor's taken a lot of damage.
Can't have any more casualties. Time to stop the bullshit.
Seriously,
Mage
look
2,
at this shit.
Form up with Mage 1. All aircraft, let's do this.
Looks
Golem
awesome.
Squadron, it's go time.
Roger that.
Going for understood.
This is the AWACS Skykeeper. Take down all unidentified bombers. They don't have many escorts. They hit our radars hard in the last attack. Expect the worst and stay sharp.
Welcome. Trigger, I'm your wingman. Fly with me now. That's what it means to be in an element. You gotta keep an eye out for enemy bombers. Okay, here we go. Looks like bombers have been located. It's showtime, Trigger. Let's see if you can handle the spotlight. You're a good pilot, or so I told them. I had to fill an empty spot, so play along.
Enemy bomber confirmed down. Good job, Mage 2.
Fox 1, Fox 2.
Not bad, Mage 2. Trigger, switch your radar. See if you can locate the enemy.
Pressing will change the radar.
There it is, sitting there all pretty, just waiting to be taken.
Dude, look at this freaking hillside and that ocean. Oh my... They really out... And with the airplanes and the clouds, they really outdid themselves. That's the switch.
They're way overhead. Let's go introduce ourselves.
That's to change targets. That's for guns.
Harbor fuel storage is intact. It's asking for another round. All escorts roll up for another attack. Point is 835.
MiGs.
Watch out for the support aircraft.
Triangle to change target.
Based on your
I'm blown away. That smoke effect. I'm blown away.
Trigger, stay calm. You got this. I know the kid showed some promise, but let's remember, he's still barely got his feet wet.
You talk... Feet wet? What are you talking about? I've been doing this for years. Flight Simulator, 1998. Lethal Skies, the other games. This is my territory. I love it. Let's go with 4 missiles, shall we? Ah! Right square, right thumb for... Right thumb for switching the view. Oh yeah.
That's it. It's great when it's simple.
Boom, baby.
Enemy bomber down. Nice going, Mage 2.
Not too shabby, Mage 2. You still got a long way to go, kid. I'll give you some pointers back at base if you can make it in one piece.
Knocker, huh?
Skykeeper, this is Mage 1 over. Tally 2 bandits.
Copy that. It's a bomber and an escort.
Whoa there, Trigger. Settle down. Mage 2, maintain your element with Mage 1. Do not break off. Mage 1, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. Wilco. Golem 2, let's maintain element.
Copy that, Commander. I've got your 6 covered, sir.
Radio.
Golem, Mage, 2 new enemy groups.
This is HQ. Attention all combat groups. Are there any drones? Verify.
Are you kidding me right now? Jesus, this is the kind of shit that really chaps my ass. UAVs. I can't tell them apart.
Target is in range of guns.
Gun reticle. Oh, the music. The Ace games have never slacked on the music. I gotta give them credit for that. One down with the chain gun. Flare, I'm gonna assume is the left stick. I think I used it. Pressed it by accident. Well, I did press it intentionally, just couldn't remember what it was for.
Attack missed. Harbor facilities carrier destroyed. I call that mission accomplished. Missile package. Emptying them on hangars and runways.
Missile connected.
Whoa, he's a tough one.
Bomber hit by a missile.
Shot down.
Mage 2's bandit confirmed down.
They can burn with their whole payload.
Don't let them destroy the harbor! Where the hell are our fighters? The harbor's under heavy fire!
Hesitating for a split second could be the difference between life and death. Stay sharp and think fast.
Roger that.
I want to get behind them so that way my missiles don't miss. From my experience, that's the main weakness with the AAM missiles. Unless you're really behind them, they're gonna miss. They don't curve very well.
One remaining.
Mage 2, keep your focus. You got this.
Golem and Mage, job well done. All bombers are down.
Yeah, the MiGs are retreating.
Bandits. You're in the clear.
The classic mission accomplished sign. Even has the...
Slow down. It's just one sortie. Don't try to be a hero. I want you to make it back in one piece, you hear?
They even
I
got
gotta
the
side with the boss man on this.
brownie. Huh, it's a she.
Golem Squadron, this is HQ. Did you confirm any drones?
What's the deal with all the drones?
Well, look at that God ray on the corner. Look at that.
Return to base and report for debriefing.
The freaking rainbow ray right there on the corner. Oh my god. Uh-oh. princess.
Princess Rosa Cassette Delise of the Kingdom of Erusia.
What? So,
Citizens of Erusia.
Erusia's a monarchy, huh? Never knew that. What's going on here?
Call sign is Mage 2. Verify
Ah,
and
the
feedback.
old replay.
Mage 2, clear for takeoff. The situation is tight. It's a
Yeah, I don't need to see this. Just glad to have it, though. Well, visually, I'm already impressed. The game looks impressive. First flight
We are
trophy.
currently assessing the damage to the base. We have confirmed that the aircraft carrier Albatross was sunk.
Yup, it was
We know the
smoking.
attacking bogies were from Erusia. International Union peacekeeping force bases all over the Yusian continent were attacked in the same way. The damage is severe. Many wars are lost by failing to recover from the opening blows. That means successfully retaliating was very important. You may have turned the tides of battle here. You have our thanks.
Total destroyed 14. Oh, A rank. Yeah. Still green, he says. Ah, the aircraft tree's been unlocked. Now equipped, upgrade parts in campaign mode. Okay. Next mission.
As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusia has declared war on the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on. I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Yusia, has been seized by the Erusian army.
Uh-oh.
Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his
Harling.
current whereabouts are unknown. Our
From the
sources in
fifth
government
game.
tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent of Yusia, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Yusian peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
Yeah, Harling, he was the...
Breaking news from ENN.
Ah!
Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
Like CNN, only not as dishonest.
The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid.
Yep, that
Yusia
happened.
was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from 2 continents went head to head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Yusians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Yusia, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusia, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusia went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone. The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusia didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer.
Ouch. Wrong place, wrong time.
In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived.
No shit.
I crashed in a bombed-out Osean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
Princess Rosa Castelli of the Kingdom of Erusia. Today, Osean airstrikes have shattered the lives of countless Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled the school I went to. It is heartbreaking.
I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship, too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusia, on the opposite side of the Yuzian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt.
The Patton maneuver.
The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape.
Why? That's just gonna make it worse for
They
you.
found out. And set the dogs on me.
Ugh. Shouldn't have done that. Okay, what charge the enemy? Okay, so what does she have to do with the whole thing at the moment? I don't know. Get there eventually.
Erusia has made a declaration to the Osean Federation and all countries on the Yusian continent stationing the IUN peacekeeping force that we are now at war. Right after the declaration was made, surprise attacks began around the continent that have inflicted major damage to our armed forces. Forces aligned with Erusia are currently appearing throughout Yusia. The combination of these forces has overwhelmed the majority of the continent, and they are now encroaching on us in the east. Additionally, the multinational space elevator has been seized by the Erusian military.
Yeah, the one from the trailers.
After the previous war, the space elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing energy concerns. Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent. We cannot turn a blind eye to this critical situation. The Fort Grays Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as an advance element. First, you will attack all hostiles coming in the east of Schofield Plateau to stop any interference with the Allied ground troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support. If that happens, Fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
Erusia. Not satisfied with getting their butt kicked by Mobius 1 and 4, they're back to cause more problems. And Harling, yeah, he was the president of Osea in the 5th game, Unsung War, which is like my favorite out of all of them. And yeah, he played a big part in that game too. So what happened? What's happening now? First it's been Yuktobania, which is basically this universe's version of Russia. Now it's Erusia, and yeah, they were a republic in 4. I guess after the last war with them in 4, they had a change in government. Okay, destroy enemy ground facilities. So that's the primary objective. Cloudy, broken, blah blah blah. So, primary ground combat, air to ground. Radars. I can obtain aircraft, weapons, and aircraft parts of the arc to gain upper hand in missions. So it's what? Is that where I get like new airplanes? Unlock aircraft. Oh yeah, this was what they did in the other games too. When you did you earned points in the various missions, so you can unlock aircraft and extra weaponry. Exchange for new aircraft, special weaponry, and upgrade parts in the aircraft tree. Receive them in campaign. You complete multiplayer mode for each match I play. Need to unlock them before on the same line. Some items, however, require you to meet certain conditions before I can gain them. Need to be purchased. Okay. Cannot be refunded. Fighter. Boosts excellent maneuverability, ideal for air-to-air combat. Multi-role, adapts well to a variety of combat situations while not excelling in any particular area. And the attacker. Sturdy craft capable of excellent anti-surface combat. Air-to-air, air-to-surface. So yeah, it's like an element. Yeah, it's an element of strategy that's been in the game from the series since the beginning. Certain aircraft perform certain duties better than others, and some can get away with doing both. Durability, stability. Okay. Wait a minute. Didn't Ace Combat Infinity, the free-to-play game, have an aircraft tree like this? Well, I guess they decide to implement it. Axle Plus Light Blitz Level 1. Enhances acceleration. Okay, so it has that. Okay. Okay, this is DLC. All this is... Okay, let me expand the map a bit. Oh, so we got a whole grid of different aircraft. F-22, 35... 15 Eagles, the Super Hornet, Mirage, the MiG-29. There's so many. I can't even see the whole thing. Ah, the A-10 Thunderbolt, personal favorite. The Gripen. Sukhoi 33 flanker. I love the flankers. They're pretty cool. They're basically the AK-47s of aircraft, you know, being Russian, but are very good, cool, not only cool looking but pretty reliable as hell. Yeah, like what Like, I love my North American aircraft as much as the next guy, but I have to admit, seeing some of the other stuff is pretty cool too. Like, I'm not the big fan of the MiGs, like the Foxhound or the 21 or the 29. For me, the Sukhois are where it's at. Like the flankers specifically. The flankers, I love them. Like the flanker Terminator. That one like became my favorite in Ace Combat 0. Live parts here. $34. Rafale. The Eurofighter Typhoon. Or just Typhoon, since Europe doesn't exist. The 37 Terminator. It is in the game. Oh, this is gonna be good. I'm gonna love this. The Sukhoi 57. That's basically the Russia version of the F-22 Raptor. Hell, China like freaking stole data to make their version of the 22. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff to unlock here. I don't know if we're gonna have as much variety as as the other games in terms of airplane types, but so far I like what I see. The Super Tomcat. F-15. Well, I'm gonna try and get as much of everything as I can, honestly. 48,000, that's 70. Well, I need to... Yeah, I don't have enough cash. I need to play some more. Yeah, I need to play a couple more levels before I can do anything else. So yeah, can't buy anything yet. I'll likely have to replay the game multiple times in order to unlock everything, which was part of the fun. I loved going back, trying different aircraft, and buying new ones to see what else I could do in the game. That's replayability done right. None of this DLC all over the place crap that 6 tried to do. Like, yeah, this grid, I think Ace Combat Infinity did it, not none of the other games. The other games, well, there was 5. 5 had a similar grid, but not as in-depth as this. Okay, so we gotta go do ground combat. Okay, so we're still on the Falcon. Let me check. Was there any other... Okay, so... air missiles, bombs that come in on a locked target. Air-to-air burst missiles. Oh, so it's like a shotgun round in a missile. It explodes and leaves shrapnel all over the place. I'm gonna go with the gut. Okay, so I'll unlock the bombs. F-16C. Guided penetration bomb. Gnarly. I'm streaming, Mom. Ace Combat 7. Oh, how I've missed this franchise. Okay, so we're going for guided penetration bomb for ground target on the Falcon. Select parts. Purchasable. Power up aircraft with special weapons. We give them special attributes. Body. Boosting aircraft speed. Arms. Power machine guns. Miscellaneous. Oh, this was different. This is new. Yeah, this is new. I've never seen this done in the other games. You can modify the different aspects of the airplane system in order to get different benefits out of it. That's new. I don't recall ever seeing this in the previous games. Slot limits. Each upgrade can take up a certain number of slots. Number of slots they have. Upgrade parts onto your aircraft that are beyond the slot limit. Okay, so it's kind of like a loadout, more or less, almost like an RPG. Higher the level, stronger the effect. However, it also take up more space. Okay, so it's kind of like an RPG in a way. That's cool. Yeah, that's innovating. Cool use of innovation. A light basilisk, level 1. Okay, giving me more acceleration. Owned body, arms. I don't have anything for that. Don't know how much of an importance it'll have in the main game, but it's something.
Mage Squadron, Zordy, ASAP.
Charge the enemy, yeah. I think I'll do the second mission and then take a break and come back later, because I don't know how long it's been. Between me talking and the game's cutscenes, I'm seeing how everything...
Current target is on rails, but there's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry. Destroy the target. But HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damage is to be done to public facilities.
But, any aircraft shot down could land in civilian territory.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days.
Can't predict it. R1, L1, yeah, I figured that out already.
Do you have visual on the anti-air radar vehicles? They should be close.
Yep.
Yeah, I can do either... either the regular with the sidewinders or go with the ground. With the GP... With the ground, with the GPB.
Intercept! Fire the AA! Get the radar vehicle out of there! Where's the damn intercept?
I'm liking the explosion effects.
It's popping off now, Trigger. The war has officially begun.
Hell, AH-60s.
Being attacked by enemy aircraft! We're using the containers now. Those weapons are meant for tactical flexibility.
Mage 2, missile away. Target destroyed. 5 to go.
Get the fighters out there! Protect the radar vehicle!
Mage 2, target
Move
destroyed.
the vehicle! We can't wait any longer! We need interceptors now!
Target destroyed. 3 to go. Continue to engage at your discretion. Enemy interceptors inbound. Prepare to engage in 30
I think
seconds.
I'm wasting my special ammo.
Here they come. Take them down.
Uh-oh.
Okay, recruits. Pay attention to who's on what side. The newest IFF is connected to our entire force via satellites. It's reliable, so trust your radars.
How the hell is the enemy able to hit it so accurately when it's camouflaged?
2 targets remaining.
That radar was just about to go online! The plan forward too fast. The base was too far from Allied territory.
Golem 2, Fox 2.
Take out some of the helicopters too while I'm at it. Get some extra points. Easy targets.
In my sights. Mage 2 splash demand. Good work.
Helicopters are easy. Get some points with those.
Firing gear gun! Now!
not used to the triggers being acceleration. I'm used to the R2s.
The clouds don't just affect your field of vision. They also mess with your HUD and radar. The Seekers can sometimes lose their lock-on to their targets, too.
Break! Break! Rename over clear ground. School 3, hit the bailout now.
Zone 1, enemy will crash in a residential area.
Just worry about staying alive for now.
Bombs away.
Missile fire, evading.
Trigger, there's one more to go.
Fox 2! Fox 2! Page 2, enemy has a radar lock on you.
That was the last radar vehicle. Great work.
So they're trying to hit this one.
Radar vehicle's destroyed, but the interceptor shows no sign of retreating. Take it out. Continue with the mission. Crush as many as you can.
Enemy transports are taxiing.
Uh-oh.
It didn't connect.
Enemy
target
transports,
six.
huh?
Fox 2!
No, they're not linked to the radar vehicles. Launch manually. Redo the setup. Shake him off. Here's Zoxy back with those more versions. Write your manuals in a language we can understand.
Get the transports.
Missile incoming. Break.
And he's going down.
Why don't they withdraw? What? They gonna bring their buddies back from the dead?
Missile inbound, evade!
Page 2, locking.
Breaking.
Don't want to waste all my missiles.
I'm on this one's tail.
Big 21.
So you want us to take down the enemy without damaging any public facilities? That's gonna be a
Classic
circus.
Cold War
5 targets remaining.
aircraft.
Warning. Bandit on your 6. Move the enemy aircraft away from the base.
Target has been destroyed. Way to go.
All right, this base is worth destroying. 4 targets remaining. Missile launched.
Bandit in my sight.
3 targets remaining.
Evading enemy missiles.
Missed.
Locked on.
Missile in the air, evade now!
Are you telling me we can't even avenge our father? Breaking. Fox 2, Fox 2. The enemy has a lock on you.
Missile connected.
Whoa!
Launch preparations complete. Holds are free. Everything enemy. Stand clear.
That was a big explosion. I was very close to it.
Ready to launch. Away.
What just happened? Uh-oh. Well, that's new.
What happened? Status report.
Multiple bogies on radar. They're close.
Wait, they're being launched.
You're clear to engage. They're probably hostile.
Judging by the way they look, they gotta be drones. Well spotted, clown. No doubt about it, we're dealing with UAVs. But that doesn't change a thing. Just think of them as somewhat clever decoys. Take them all down. These drones have great agility. All aircraft. You know what high G turns are, right? Use them. HQ, this is Golem 1. Bandits
Press
confirmed
both
as
to form a
UAVs.
high G turn.
Repeat, bandits are drones.
Golem 1, that doesn't matter. Destroy all enemy fighters and get out.
It doesn't matter. He's saying the war can change in an instant. Get over it.
Yeah, I just wish they'd give us a bit more warning.
Target is down.
Golem 2, the enemy's reading behind the enemy.
Missed.
Missed.
Come on.
Enemy UAV confirmed destroyed. Hell yeah.
Ah, flying into the shrapnel is a bad thing.
3 enemies to go. Behind target and ready to attack.
I'm buying dinner for anyone who takes down an enemy.
There's a bar I want to try.
You're doing good. Just 2 more.
I'll take Brownie out for dinner. I call dibs. Ah, too fast.
I'm getting a warning.
Get out of the clouds. The ice will melt. The enemy knows a few moves, but that's about it. Just chase him down and pull the trigger.
Where'd he go?
1 to go. Let's get through this without any casualties.
Or maybe I don't get hurt in the shrapnel. I don't know. I think it was the AA guns that were hitting me. Maybe. Come on. Ugh, you
Careful of ice
drones.
formation in the clouds.
I hate drones.
So, drones don't do the G-force, huh? I've maneuvered behind the enemy.
Oh, you got smart. For a robot.
Mage 1 launching missile.
They won't show up on the radar.
Boom.
Nice kill, Trigger. Enemy aircraft confirmed down.
The skies are clear. Nice work, everyone. Mission complete. RTB.
Yeah, like,
No casualties. We couldn't have done any better. Returning to base.
I don't know. Maybe the bandits we took down caused civilian casualties.
like I was almost done getting the reds.
That's how war is these days.
You
But-
shoot, someone gets killed.
But then
The
then
guys
it
in
got to
charge
drones.
Take care of the rest.
Yeah, I had like 2 reds left, and then
Targets on rails. There's
then it
still
introduced the
military
drones.
vehicles and anti-air weaponry.
It happens
Destroy the
in,
target.
in a lot of these kinds of
But
missions
HQ
where
has made it clear that no harm
you're
should come
going to attack
civilians
one
and no
thing, then the
damage is to
game
gun
will
and weapon
will
facilities.
switch to another thing for story reasons.
Any aircraft shot down could land in civilian territory.
No point arguing.
Okay. So we got our first taste of air-to-surface combat.
You've
Spreading
given us
wings,
air superiority
trophy.
by destroying their radar. The first barrier keeping us from retaking the space elevator is gone. Now is the time to group up and begin the counteroffensive. Let us reclaim what is ours.
Okay. Ah, B rank. Boo. Give me more money. 1 or more nicknames. Next mission. See what it is. 2-pronged strategy. That's the next one.
The surprise attacks carried out after the declaration of war saw the peacekeeping forces of various countries, including Osea, suffer major damage. The ships moored around the space elevator and near Gandar Bay have been hit particularly hard. Numerous ships have been sunk and abandoned. Fortunately, our cutting-edge aircraft carrier, Kestrel II, was at sea, so it was spared from the attack. Kestrel II is now preparing to launch another attack against Erusia's capital, Farbanti. The aircraft carrier Vulture also managed to escape Gandar Bay safely. However, it lost all its aircraft, so it's sailing empty. Today, the International Union Peacekeeping Force reclaims its bid to the space elevator. The Fort Gray's Island Air Base Squadron will rendezvous with the carrier Vulture for a joint mission. The first objective will be to seize air superiority in Schoppenberg in order to secure a route for the support squadrons. The enemy maintains air superiority over Schoppenberg, so expect heavy resistance from enemy aircraft. There's more, so listen carefully. Right from the start of the war, the enemy has been deploying drones. They're using a new advanced type of drone. The unmanned airborne aircraft carrier, the Arsenal Bird, carries this new drone, NQ-101.
Arsenal
the Ocean
gear.
Army headed the development of the massive Arsenal Birds and dispatched them to the space elevator to provide support.
It looks like the
However,
white bird.
It's been reported that the carriers may have fallen into the hands of the Erusian forces.
Yeah, it looks like
If that's true, it could be a significant obstacle for us. We need to regain control of the space elevator ASAP. Good luck out there.
Yeah, the Kestrel too. It's just the Kestrel was the aircraft carrier that served as our naval base in Ace Combat 5, and those bird drones, they look just like the White Bird spaceship from Ace Combat 5 too. This is more or less a sequel to both 4 and 5. Like 10 years late, but still. Okay, seriously, if Razgri's squadron shows up in the game, in the story somewhere, I'll give this game a perfect 10, I swear. Likely won't happen, but would be nice. So yeah, I'm gonna take a break here and come back in a little bit just to give myself take a quick breather. And I'll be back in a wee bit.